Oh man, what is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage. We're going to talk a little bit about how bad it is and how upside down so many people are on their notes and what's probably going to happen next. What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage, and today I want to talk about kind of a little bit where the market's at. This is a bonus video, so it's basically talking like we're basically going to be talking about if you're in the market to buy a car, why it might not be the best time to buy. Interest rates just got raised again by the Fed, and if you don't know how that works or what that means, that's okay. Just let me kind of break it down for you like this. Basically, every time the Fed raises interest rates, it costs banks basically more money to get money, right? Money that they loan out, or money that they use for whatever. They end up paying in higher interest rate to the Fed. Obviously, they're not going to eat that. They're going to pass that on to you. Now, we already know, like, for the people whose credit is like jacked the fuck up and you're already paying 25% on a scat pack that you can't afford and you're working 4 jobs to front to the chick who really ain't that bad anyway in the neighborhood, well, you're a sucker. I get it. I understand keeping up with the Joneses and doing what you got to do for some buns, but that ain't it, man. So right now, most of the repo yards that are out this way in Las Vegas and what I saw over in LA are full. A lot of banks right now are trying to work with their customers that are behind. Some banks aren't even reporting that the customers are behind so they don't fuck their credit up worse. So that they can possibly refinance and get out. And here's the other thing that banks are doing right now, which is kind of shady and kind of some bullshit. Ally Bank and Santander, both. Ally is not strictly subprime, but they do some private lending. And Santander, they're just scumbags. But basically what they're doing right now is they're not reporting people being behind 2, 3, 4 months. Now, what does that mean for the consumer? Well, it's good for you because your credit's not getting any more jacked up. And what they're telling you to do, especially Santander, they're actively calling their customers and telling them to get refinanced if they can. Now, why would Santander, a bank, Santander USA, why would they be actively reaching out to consumers that are behind and asking them to get refinanced? Well, let me tell you why. When you do go get refinanced through a credit union or somewhere else, their loan gets paid off. Now, most of these, if you've had this loan for 6 months or a year, Santander's already made a ton of money. What a lot of you guys don't understand is you see that you're making the payment every month for the first 6 months or a year that you have your car, and you're like, why the hell have I only paid $1,100 on my car? It's because they front-loaded your loan with interest. They're going to get all their money in the first 2 years, maybe 2.5, depending on how much the car is and how long the loan is. They're going to get all their money up front. So if you fuck up later down the road, they're not holding the bag. They don't give a shit. They'll send it to the auction, sell it for a loss, and then still F your credit up and tell you that you still owe money. These are the scumbag lenders that I like to call them, scumbag lenders. Now, I'm not talking about like buy here, pay here lots. If you're in that situation, you got to work with what you got, man. If you jacked off your credit or you don't understand what credit is and you've royally effed up your credit to the point where you can't get a car note, then you got to work with what you got. I get it. I know I have personal friends that I've seen with cars that are worth 20 grand that were paying 27, 28% interest rates. Insane. And you never get out of those. I mean, a $20,000 car you're paying 60 grand for. Negative. Negative, Ghost Rider. We're not doing that. So what does that mean? When I start seeing this kind of shit, and I know this because I literally had somebody hit me up today, right? And then, so this is how my day went today. Let me just give you, this is how I know that the market's really fucked up. People that look like they have money on the internet are hitting me up and saying, hey, you know, I'm selling my vehicle and somebody's willing to pay me X amount of money for it and they don't want the title, but they only want to pay me like X amount and then report it on my insurance or something. Ooh, that's not a good look. And then you have other people who have hit me up and said, hey, my bank called me. I haven't made my car payment in 3 months. I can't afford it. People that have a scat pack and they're trying to give it back. And they won't take it back. They don't want to voluntarily repo. They're telling me to keep the car and drive it, and they're telling me to get refinanced if I can. And they haven't reported their owner's credit. This is when, this right now with the car market reminds me of the real estate market in 2008. In 2008, let me put it like this. There were people that were getting $250,000, $300,000 mortgages that had 550 credit scores and no proof of income. Like, holy shit. Money was just like, it was so easy. There was no excuse for you not to be able to get a house or a mortgage back then. And right now, the car market's tightened up now with the loans because of the interest rates. But you have so many people that had all that free money from the government, COVID money, PPP money, unemployment money. And let me give you an example. You know, when unemployment shit hit, anybody that was an Uber driver, a Lyft driver, did food delivery, anybody was able to apply for unemployment. And depending on what, until they lowered it, depending on what state you were in or where you were at, the state was adding more to it. I mean, I knew people that were paying off fucking cars off of their unemployment that they were getting from the state. Facts. Just facts. Like, ridiculous. So, we're in a situation now where all that free money's gone. You're not getting no more free money. There's no more stimulus checks coming. All that shit's going to Ukraine. Sorry. Ukraine's taking all the free money right now. Y'all ain't getting shit. The banks know this too. So the banks are like, okay, they're running cars through the auction every single day, and they're not selling them. There are no sales. What does that mean? It means like a dealer or a bank is running a car through the auction, and they know they want X amount for that car, or they need to get close to X amount so that they don't lose money on it. They're not selling. They're not selling. Dealers are trying to buy them, but they're trying to buy them at 20 or 30% less than what the banks and or other dealers want. And right now, everybody's holding bags. They're just like, fuck it. Who's going to drop it first? Who's going to drop first? Who's going to hold that L? And that's where we're at. And when I start seeing, like I said, when I start seeing this kind of shit, where banks are physically calling people that are delinquent and saying, hey, why don't you go get refinanced? In fact, and let me tell you, like, the biggest offender of this is Santander, which tells me that their balance sheet's about to be really fucked up. So the biggest offender of this is Santander. And the reason why I say that is because I got 2 phone calls today from 2 different people their credit's about to be jacked up. Like, they can't afford their credit cards. They're paying, the only thing that they're paying for is their house. They have a mortgage, they're paying for their house, but they're not paying for their cars. They're not paying their freaking credit cards. They just said F it. And the thing with credit cards are, yeah, you can do like your credit will be jacked up for like 6 months. You can do a debt settlement with your credit card companies and they'll settle for a lesser amount. Or you can like consolidate debt, and like a credit union will negotiate with your other credit card companies for a lower amount. You know, you just pay the credit union, and they also kind of get rid of the late payments and other shit. You can fix your credit that way. I don't recommend it. I don't ever recommend anybody not paying their bills, but there's ways to fix that shit. And this is why car companies, banks that are putting out car notes are not trying to like fuck up anybody's credit. They want another credit union or somebody else to just get that revolving door of paper And this why this reminds me so much of the housing market, because in '08, that's what was happening. You'd buy a house, your mortgage would be through XYZ Bank, and then a month or two later, XYZ Bank sold your mortgage to, TDY Bank, and TDY Bank sold it to, PCS Bank. Somebody's going to get the acronyms that I'm dropping right now, but basically banks are just doing this. Here, you hold it. No, you hold it. Here, you hold it. They're going hot potato, hot potato, the hot potato, hot potato. They're throwing this debt around, and they're going to wait to see who has it last, and then blows up in their face, because it's coming. I guarantee you it's coming. And if it doesn't happen before the end of 2022, I can promise you before the end of 2023, you're going to watch the car market go. Nobody's getting loans. I'm telling you now. So if you don't have a car right now and you're really looking for a car, start saving money. Buy a beater. If you have to hit a buy here, pay here lot, do that. Hit an auction, like a public auction. Just buy something that'll get you from point A to point B for now. The reason why I say that is because this is not permanent, right? Like, this shit is going to explode. It's going to get torn down, the entire market. You're going to see so many dealers go under, dealerships eat shit, banks eat shit. And it would depend on if the government's going to bail them out again this time. I just don't see it. There's no money. Where are they going to get the money from? I mean, we're already $31 trillion in debt. I guess they could print some more money, and inflation will go higher, and we'll just continue to get fucked. But it's going to get bad, and you're not going to be able to get a loan. I had somebody hit me up today, like, man, I want to go get this new TRX, and I got a 700 credit score, but nobody wants to finance me. Because you're fucking high risk. Like, you have no pay stub, no proof of income. They don't care where the money's coming. I mean, banks didn't care where the money was coming from 18 months ago. They didn't give a shit. Now, yeah, they want to know where that money's coming from. If you have like a VA award letter or something, you might maybe still be able to get a loan. But I'm watching banks do this. Banks are tightening up. They're not giving out loans for shit. There are still some credit unions like Navy Federal, First Tech Federal Credit Union, One Nevada Credit Union that are still putting out money. I don't know how long that's going to last. I really don't. I don't know. So your best bet right now, if you're trying to get a car, is go try to get your own funding from a credit union before you go to a lot. If you go through, here's the other thing, because if you go through the finance office, they're gonna fuck you. I'm gonna tell you right now, they're gonna fuck you. I know, because I'm in the business and I know how that works. And they're gonna hit you for several points on interest because they're gonna make their money. They don't give a shit, and they front load that too. So I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a talk today concerning just what I'm seeing and what, like, alarm bells are going off in my head right now, because I'm looking at this shit and I'm going, damn, the whole house of cards is about to fall down. And I see it. It's not a good look. It really isn't. But anyways, today I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about that. And the reason I wanted to talk to you guys about it today is because of the phone calls I got today. I got 3 phone calls today from 3 people that I know from social media. And all I can tell you is this. You know what? I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to leave that alone because someone's going to think I'm taking shots. I'm not taking shots at anybody, but everybody ain't got it like that. That's all I can tell you. You're going to see people. I know people that actually got it like that. I know people right now. I got a phone call from one of those people that called me today. Does have it. They can afford it. They could keep it. And they're like, fuck it. Because they see the same shit. They see that the market's going and shit is going to implode. It's about to be a wrap. Anyways, it's good to be sitting in here and just chopping it up with you guys. I don't know. I kind of, that painting's a little creepy, right? That shit starts moving, it's time to go. Anyways, hopefully my rambling about the market and people calling me and the shit going on with banks and stuff gave you some type of positive information today, or some information that you could act on. it's just, mark my words. Remember this video. Go back to this video in like 12 months and be like, he called that shit. He said it. He said, like, and here's the other thing. If you know somebody that's behind on their loan, ask them if their credit's fucked up. Ask them if their bank has reported it as late. I'm willing to bet there's a lot more, especially ones that are subprime lenders, that haven't reported it. And there's a reason why. I'm telling you. Because it's a hot potato. They don't want to get stuck with the hot potato when it goes boom. They want to pass it off on somebody else. So just be aware of it. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Just a little bit of a different video. I haven't done these videos where I just talk to you guys like this in a while, and I wanted to do it. So anyways, let me know what you guys think, and catch you guys on the next one. Peace.